Well, welcome back to the studio. Today I am working on a piece for my gallery in Santa Fe. This is going to be for my annual collector event. The dates are August 30th and 31st this year in Santa Fe, New Mexico at our gallery, the Santa Fe Art Collector. And we always have a lot of fun. Collectors come in from all over the United States, and it's just a big celebration. I have lots of new paintings, and it's just a chance to renew friendships and just have a really great time. So if you're in the Santa Fe area, August 30th and 31st, that's Labor Day weekend, that's Friday and Saturday, come join us. Love to have you. I can just give you a big hug and personally thank you for watching my YouTube videos, and just come join the fun. So anyway, this piece I'm having climbing roses cascading over this adobe wall. Now the perspective looks a little strange because I have to have the camera at an angle to the canvas so that you can see me. If I put the camera right behind me, of course, then I'd be blocking out the painting. So the perspective is a little bit odd, but anyhow, I block my roses in first, and I'm using mixtures of alizarin crimson plus white. And I block the flowers in first because I want to keep the color nice and clean. When I come back and start putting the leaves in, if I put the greens in first when I painted the pinks and the reds, my brush would pick up that color and dirty my flower color. So I always do in most instances, I do my flowers first. Now I just put in a mass of color. I have 3 different shades of that alizarin crimson plus white mixture, a dark, a medium, and a lighter shade. And there's going to be a few of these just little runners coming down arms of this climbing rose, just cascading over. And I'm trying to think where I want to come across down here, because you can see the shadow is cast, and so now I want to have my arm of the roses coming down. I want to break across the gate here so we just don't have that hard square opening. And I'm using this is a bright brush, it's a square brush, but I can use the corner of the brush to make smaller brush strokes. Now I don't want to come right over the center of that door. In fact, I'm going to, on the back side of this, I'm also going to have some roses coming down. And again, that just makes that shape back there a little more interesting. Don't want it to just be a total square. Now the light's coming in from the upper right, so these are going to be a little lighter here. Like I said, I just do lots of different values in there. Mix a little more color. Again, this is my alizarin crimson plus white. A little darker shade and a lighter shade. I mix all my paint on a piece of glass. It's 1/8 inch. Well, no, actually this is 1/4 inch glass. And I put it over on a white shelf board so that my mixing area is on white, since the canvas is white. That way I see the colors on my palette the way they're going to appear on the canvas. I'm not going to block all these in over here. I'm just working on this center section right now so you can see how this goes. clean my brush out. And I wipe it with tissue. I swish it around in the thinner. And wipe it with tissue. And now I'm going to start putting in some of my greens. And I just work around those blocks of color. And I just use the green to help kind of shape my flowers. But you can see like my brush has picked up some of the red on there when I'm putting the green in. And it doesn't really matter with the green if that color gets a little muted or mixed in. But I don't want to do that with the red because then my flowers would not be nice and pretty and bright. And I'm using this pink mixture of alizarin crimson plus white because it makes a nice muted pink. I also, a lot of times when I'm painting pink flowers, I'll use permanent rose plus white, and that's a brighter, more intense pink. But I want these roses to be a little softer. So just bringing some lighter colors back in here. Now this is going to go behind, and then there's going to be a group of roses coming in here. So this is darker. I'm also using a mixture of phthalo blue plus liquid to give that real dark. And it just makes a cool dark in the shadows of the foliage. And my greens are mixes of phthalo blue plus a little bit of cadmium yellow, medium plus white. And you can see I just use the corner of that brush. Bring in my colors, my leaf color. And you can see I'm using a lot of variety in my shades, and that just gives the feeling of the different leaves. If you look at a bush, not everything is the same shade or value. Lots of different shades in there. I'm also pulling a little bit of my gate color in here, which is phthalo blue plus white. Just add some variety within that foliage, add some nice cool colors. I've switched to a little smaller brush. Now where these go back behind my adobe, I can just see how I can just do that brush sideways and make a nice line. Brushes are very individual. I just prefer the bright brushes because they're so versatile. That doesn't mean you have to use them. If you like filberts better or rounds, it's all individual. Now I'm going to I've saved my sky color, which is cobalt blue plus white. And I'm going to come back up here and add just a little bit of sky poking through these. So they cascade. They're just, this again adds a little more dimension into my roses. I'm primarily going to show you these as they come over. Lighter leaves in here. Again, this is the blocking in process. There will be a lot more to do on this, but this shows you how I get the initial block in done. If you'd like to see the entire step-by-step process on this painting, please visit my blog. The link is in the description below. I also have the address on the final frame of my YouTube video. and I post the entire process from start to finish on my blog, and it gives you color mixtures and just different aspects of the painting that I don't show in the videos. So please visit my blog. You can also subscribe to it, and you'll get an email every time I make a new post. So please do that. You can also subscribe to my YouTube videos. Adding a little lighter, some lighter leaves in here. Again, the sun's coming from the upper right, so I want this side to be a little bit lighter. Now I'm going to add some of these long arms, the roses. They're in a sense similar to bougainvilleas because they do have long cascading arms filled with blossoms. I have a couple of climbing roses in my garden, and they're just so pretty in the spring. There are a variety of rose called Peggy Martin roses. They're a climbing rose that has no thorns. And they were growing in New Orleans when Hurricane Katrina came through. And they were actually submerged under floodwaters, salt water, for 8 or 9 days. And they survived. So commercial growers thought, hey, let's propagate those for homeowners to have. And they're just a wonderful rose. They have that soft pink, and again, they have no thorns, which makes it really nice when it comes to pruning time. I started to put a little tendril there, but I don't think I'm going to do that. So I've got my Adobe color that I can just take that out. Now with a smaller brush, I can make my rose shapes. And you can see I use that smaller, the corners of that square brush to make my flower shapes. Please feel free to ask questions. You can make them in the comments section. I will answer them. It may take me a day or two, but I will get back to you. The blog is one of the main reasons I do the blog, is to help other artists. So I'm always willing and happy to answer questions. So this gives you an idea of how I block the paintings in, or the roses in, not the entire painting, but this gives you an idea on the roses. These a little bit brighter, catching the light there. And like I say, I still have quite a bit of work to do, but come visit my blog and you can see the painting as it progresses. You have a wonderful, wonderful day. I thank you again for visiting our studio. And just today, just go out and enjoy the sunshine and give somebody a big smile. You never know what's going on in their life, and your sunshiny smile just may make a huge difference in their day. So thank you again.